It is finally merge time on Survivor in Week 6, Episode 6 of Survivor 43. This is I would say, a much better merge situation than the past two seasons. And there was one big thing that was actually left out of this merge from the last two, which is kind of something you could expect considering that the people playing on 43 could have seen the previous two seasons, or at least 41, so they would know exactly what they were going to do. So they changed up a few things, but really it's not that much different. But Survivor Week 6, we are finally at the merge, and they're still doing this whole merge thing a little weird, and I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I mean, I'll go into the details here, but yes, the big thing for Survivor Week 6 is that we are finally merged. So we start out the whole episode literally with the tribes getting their notes and getting all their notes. You know, they're going to go and meet each other at the beach, and they kind of did like the merge before the challenge itself. So you didn't have Jeff come in and say, drop your buffs, and we're going to do the merge. No, they all just kind of got their notes, their letters at the mail, and then they ended up merging, kind of, I guess. And I say kind of because they didn't really do a proper merge again, but it's the merge episode. Okay, it is what it is. So we got the merge, and right away I noticed one big thing. After the challenge and everything like that, we did this whole split where the merge is happening but it's not. And we've done this before. We've done this split before where one half of the tribe, I guess, will become part of the merge, and one tribe won't become part of the merge. And they're going to do this challenge where it's basically like two tribes still, and they're going to choose rocks, and then they're going to, play to win their spot on the merge. And half the team will end up getting their spot on the merge, and they won't have to vote anyone out. And then the other tribe that they choose with rocks will have to vote somebody out. And they've done this thing before, but they also had a very, very annoying twist in the last two seasons, and that was the hourglass twist. They didn't have the hourglass twist. They didn't do it. So that whole thing where like there's that extra person and they're going, or whatever it is, and they're going to send them off to this island for the night or whatever and make the decision on if they want to flip the game. If they want to flip the game, and the people who won, the tribe, I guess, whatever, the half the team that won, you can basically crush the hourglass and make the decision to end up having them be the losers and going to vote someone out rather than the ones that actually lost. So the ones that would actually lose ended up being safe, and then the ones who actually won the challenge would go and vote somebody out. And obviously every time they did that, the person who had the hourglass advantage, they did it. I mean, if you're going to put that in front of somebody and you want to be you want to think you have a lasting impact on Survivor, it's kind of like a given. Like, they're going to smash the hourglass and they're going to do it. And it was kind of just an annoying thing. And I don't like the fact that they're splitting up the merge still. I don't like it. I don't like that they're doing that whole like split the merge and earn your way onto the merge thing. I think it's kind of strange, but I mean, it's not bad though. It's not like the worst thing in the world. I am glad that they got rid of the hourglass, but we are merged, okay? No matter how they wanted to play it, whatever, they're all together on the same tribe. Only half is voting, but they're all together on the same tribe. And essentially, you're just not on the jury. So I don't think the one voted out is going to be on the jury. That'll start with the next vote. So that's kind of the only difference here. But they were all together. It is a big merge. And so getting into the challenge though, Noelle is the only one that ended up choosing a rock, like the gray rock. So it wasn't a blue rock, wasn't a red rock. She had to sit out and make a choice on which tribe that she wanted to be on, and she chose the blue tribe. And the blue tribe is ultimately the one that ended up winning the challenge. So she got to have the merge feast and whatever. And that's kind of the other advantage, is the ones who win got to go and have the meal, the merge meal. So, I mean, I guess that's an advantage there as well. But Noelle did choose the blue team, and they ended up winning. And also on the blue team, though, I did notice it was kind of a noticeable thing on the challenge. Carla ended up crushing her hand. I mean, I don't think it's going to be playing that much impact going forward. I think they kind of got a bandage on it. I think it'll be fine. But they did, bring focus to it in the challenge there. She got her hand crushed by like a big heavy box that they were lifting for like stairs, and it looked pretty rough. I mean, she was holding her hand up the whole time. I really thought she did like really crushed her hand. But I think it'll be fine. I don't know. I mean, they didn't really focus on it again after the challenge, so I mean, that is what it is. But it was like a little bit of a medical emergency I noticed in there. She was able to complete the challenge, though. I mean, that was fine, so everything is good there. But it was a pretty nasty thing. I don't know. It just seemed kind of just crushing your hand in this super heavy box. I mean, I don't know. It was like, yeah. So yeah, blue wins, and then essentially after that, they have the merge feast, and Gabler is on the blue tribe, and he wins. So he's talking with the 5 or 6 that he's with, and he ends up spilling that Elie is the one who had searched through his bag, and he had known that already. People in his alliance told him that. And Gabler is, I don't know if it was Elie that actually did that or not. I literally would have to go back into the episodes to see if she actually did do that. I do know somebody went into somebody's bag. I'm pretty sure it was her. I believe it, honestly. I don't honestly remember that specific moment on who did it, but I know somebody did. So I think Elie is the one who went through his bag, and he's not happy with it. And I honestly, I don't like the way that Gabler plays the game. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think he plays necessarily too strategically. I think he's just kind of spouting stuff out. He's spouting out his emotions with no care, really. He's just like, at the feast for the merge, he's literally just like blurting out like, yeah, I don't like Elie. Okay, she went through my bag and I want her gone. I don't forget that. So Elie, she needs to go. He blatantly said it. He doesn't really care. He's not gonna word it differently. He's just he's just mad. He's just mad, it seems. So I mean, it was kind of interesting to see that, but it does play out in the end, and kind of surprised how it played out, if I'm being honest. I don't know why. Maybe I missed something, but I am kind of surprised how it played out. But essentially, this whole thing is just Gabler versus Elie, and that's literally what's stirring up the majority of the conversation up until the Tribal Council. So it's just basically Gabler versus Elie, with a few more names getting thrown out there, like James, I think, and whatever else. It was kind of like Tribal Council that was kind of all over the place. They didn't really have a solid idea yet. They had just merged. There was no solid idea on who they wanted to get voted out yet. There's not been much conversation yet with everybody, and it was just kind of the big Elie and Gabler show. They were mad at each other. Themselves went to the side and have a conversation. And Gabler is just not happy. He's just not happy with Elie. He really wants her out. And Elie, I guess, yeah, it's just Gabler versus Elie. And the Gabler versus Elie thing did end up playing a role in the actual Tribal Council, and surprisingly, Elie is the one who went home this week. So Elie, we don't get to watch her crazy eyes anymore, I guess. If you didn't like Elie on Survivor, I don't think she'll be on the jury. I don't think she will be. I think this was the last one before we start getting people on the jury. So now after this, even if they're voted out, they'll have an impact on the game later. So that'll be interesting. But we are now merged officially. Elie is gone. And I don't know why. I just imagined her as somebody who would still be in the game, like going into the merge and going into the jury and all that stuff. I just imagined her still being around and, having an impact on the game. I don't know why. She's just kind of she's one of the more impactful people, I'd say, up until the merge here in the game. And she's definitely a recognizable player so far. So she is the next one voted out, so we will not be seeing her anymore. And she wasn't my favorite, for sure. I keep saying Cody is my favorite for Survivor 43 right now. I don't know yet. I don't know if I can say that anymore. We just haven't had much with Cody after that first episode or whatever. We haven't had much with him yet. But he still might be my favorite. I think once we get a little bit more of him and a little bit more of his character, and after people continue to get voted out, we will see a little bit more of Cody. And I think he's still my favorite. I think at least he will still be my favorite. I still think I'm more focused on him to win the game. I don't know if he will, but either way, I'm going to be rooting for him until he's either out or goes all the way to the end. I don't know. But Survivor, I really liked this episode. I think it was really interesting. I think all the dialogue after the challenge before the Tribal Council was very interesting. The Gabler versus... It was just like pure gameplay, okay? I really like the gameplay stuff. I don't know, it just felt a little more intense this episode, I guess. And I guess it was because it was more like a beef between two people rather than like a strategic, like, okay, we need to do this, this, and this, and who said this, and who said that. It was kind of fascinating to watch. And Gabler came out on top somehow. I don't really know what he did exactly. Again, I said this before. Maybe I missed something, but Gabler is the one who came out on top. You know, he got Elie out by an overwhelming vote, too. A few of the first votes were kind of random at first. It was kind of like votes all over the place. They didn't know what to do. And then generally it was they got Elie out. Elie is voted out. So that is Survivor Week 6. That is my thoughts. Elie was certainly not one of my favorite characters on Survivor 43. She was actually... I couldn't decide if she was annoying to me or just kind of there. But she is gone. She is off the show. Gabler is victorious this week. And we are on to week 6. And now we are merged. So now we are entering the second half of the game here where we are no more tribes. And it is everyone for themselves. And I'm quite excited because it's been a pretty good season so far. Definitely better than 41 and 42. Especially 41. I just can't get over how bad 41 was. But, yeah, week 6, really good. Week 7, hope it's great as well.